What is up, everyone? I apologize for not posting in the past 2 days, but I've been busy. I actually drove a private drift event yesterday that I was really excited for, and I spent all Friday prepping for it and all Saturday driving, and it was a great day. It was awesome. I did try filming for those 2 days, and I just got too caught up with other stuff and couldn't put out a good video. So back in the garage Sunday afternoon. I'm pretty beat. I woke up with a cold, which is pretty common for me, which kind of sucks. But so yesterday at the drift event, mechanically the car held up amazing. This car has treated me so well this season. Unfortunately, I got love tapped once again right here. So that kind of sucks. Luckily it was in the same spot, but now this whole quarter is kind of duffed. But unfortunately, I kind of just got like rammed by a car in a tandem. It just happens, I guess. It's whatever. It's not going to be the end of the world to fix it. My car's not totaled, so I'm not going over fenders. I'm staying stock body. But a lot of guys say I should get a crappy car to beat on and let it get destroyed. But no, I love this car. I love drifting this car. It's just part of the game. I just got to be pickier with who I tandem with, I guess. But that's that. That happens. That's life. Whatever. We're moving on. But today we're continuing Operation Get the E36 on the damn road. And if you guys remember, I got the Mega Square ECU right here, and I'm trying to make it work on the E36. Now I have to make a jumper harness to allow this standalone ECU to work on that engine harness. And this is what we've been working on. Didn't watch a video on it, go watch it. It's a good video. So I wasn't able to finish it the other day because there was a few things on here I wasn't sure about. Luckily, Derek came down on Friday and he helped me figure out the rest of the stuff. So there's about like 10 to 15 more wires with the solder in. Not too bad. We got it all marked down and ready to go. So I guess let's just hop the soldering and hopefully we can see this thing plug in today. That'd be the goal. We're gonna start off, first we're gonna just bang out the Vanos. Now the Vanos is BMW's variable valve timing, and it's only one wire. That's all it has to be. It's powered by the harness already, so we have to do the sensor wire essentially, and it's a high current sensor wire. All I have to do is run a high current wire from the Mega Square, and that's it. So there's about there's like 8 channels for high current sensors on here. So we're gonna pick the first high current line and use that one. Of course, we have to remember that the Vanos is on high current number 1, because if we put any high current sensors in, we gotta know which bank or pin they're actually on. So now we just gotta find this damn thing. There we go. The Vanos is now all done. That was easy, one wire. Now, next is the crank position sensor. This is probably one of the most important sensors on the whole engine because it basically tells the ECU where the hell the engine is. I already put the input and the ground for it on, but I realized that I needed a voltage reference, and I couldn't determine if it was a 12 volt or a 5 volt. What I've noticed with the harness is there's different size terminals. There's 2 different sizes. If you could see them, there's like some thick ones and some skinny ones, and I know that sounds stupid, but what I've noticed is the thick ones run on 12 volt when the skinny ones all run on 5 volt. So I looked at the reference pin, which is pin 48, and we look at it and it's a skinny pin. So I know that, so I'm assuming it's a 5 volt reference. I know that sounds like a pretty remedial thought process, but hey, sometimes it's that simple. So we're basically just gonna go on our Mega Square pinout diagram right here and find a open 5 volt reference pin and just put that right into our pin 40 on the ECU, which is our reference for the crank sensors. So, all right, so the next weird thing we have to do is the IAC. Now, what makes the IAC on this car kind of weird, and on most BMWs, is the fact that there's 2 of them, and it's like kind of integrated into one, but we'll talk about that later. But for now, to wire them in, we need 2 signals. Where it does offer, which is cool, it offers a bunch of PWM outputs. Now PWMs are pulse width modulating type signals, and that's what our IACs are, so it makes it easy. So all we have to do is keep track of which ones are which, because when we set up the Mega Square, we got to know which ones to, touch and adjust. So now match the wire, solder them in, and ready to go. You guys know the deal. So that's it for all of the sensors. This is everything. I still have to wire in my AEM AFR gauge to work with this, but we'll do that later. But I mean, look at this thing. That's crazy. It's a lot more wires than I thought there would be. Cool, we're done. Not really. So I need to do one more thing. So the weird thing about the BMW engine harness is there's a relay that actually turns the harness on, and then the harness will turn the ECU on, and then the ECU will trigger the sensors. It's like kind of weird because usually the ECU will turn the harness on. This has a separate relay. So the old ECU somehow used to manage to be able to turn the harness on a trigger, and this one doesn't, so we have to rig something up. So what we have to do is we actually have to turn the main harness relay on, this thing right here, by grounding out this one wire. So we actually have to put a relay that relays a ground on it. So found what pin that is, so I know where to ground to. There's also a terminal on here that is a switch power for the chassis, so I'm gonna run that to switch the relay on, and then it's gonna, once it turns on, it's gonna ground that one pin, which will then ground the other relay and turn the whole harness on, and it'll turn the ECU on, if that makes sense. So we have to go get a simple 4-wire relay, and we'll come back. All right, I got a relay. Now, to wire a relay that has a ground as an output is pretty simple. All we have to do is literally this chicken scratch handwriting I showed you right here. So 2 terminals go to a ground, 1 is a negative out, and then 1 is a trigger, which is power on a switch. So luckily there's 1 pin on the engine harness that actually gives power once you turn the key on, and we're gonna use that as our power trigger. We're just gonna ground the 2 other terminals to a ground. We're gonna send our negative out wire to this wire that I was talking about before, right there. Ew. All right, here it is. Relay is officially wired in. Pretty happy, just enough for length to come out of the box so I can have it off on the side, have it all pinned in, and then of course my ground goes into the ground I have for my coil packs. That'll be all straight. Here it is. When I ground this should click. Oh, what the hell? What happened now? I screwed something up again. I'll get back to you when I figure out what it is. I cannot get this relay to send a negative output to the other relay. And me and Bri, luckily I had an extra set of hands, tested the relay 4 different ways, and I didn't want to assume it because it was brand new, but I think the relay is bad. Really guarantee myself that it's bad. So I'm gonna try and find another relay and go from there, but that's really unfortunate because it's wasted a lot of time. I happen to have laying around a Nissan fuse box from a 240SX. And what's in a Nissan fuse box from a 240SX, you might ask? You want to whisper it lightly?
Just a relay.
So relay, I just tested this relay on the circuit and it worked. So my god dang brand new relay is bad. I just wasted an hour of my life assuming I was messing the wiring up, and it was a stupid freaking relay. But what's cool about this is I can get the pigtail for the relay, so I can make it removable now and make it looking nice and professional. So Nissan part saves the day once again. How awesome is that? Well, relay, you wasted too much of my time. This is gonna work. I know it's gonna work. Not because I just tried it, but because this is wired correctly and this relay isn't bad. So, fuck. You hear that click? Yeah, boy. Good old fashioned 240SX relay. I should do that from the beginning. I should have just spent the extra 20 seconds and looked for it. So now I think it's ready to plug the Megasquirt into. I don't want to lumen up yet, just in case I have to make changes or add anything to it. But it's safe enough that we could just plug the Megasquirt into. The relay wire and the ground wire, I shouldn't have to touch these at all. So I do have some extra lume. It's probably a size up from what I'd want it to be, but why not? This will be out of the ECU, so I want to make it look good. So we're gonna slip this over, heat shrink it, and should make it look a lot nicer. Guys, here it is. This is officially it. I mean, for the most part. I still gotta put a heat sink for the transistors. I know a lot of guys were concerned about that last time, but yes, I do need a heat sink for these because they do get hot. And hopefully I didn't do anything wrong and it works. But I would love to plug my Megasquirt in and try and do some things, but I don't have the cable that you need to plug it into the ECU to the computer. So unfortunately I can't touch that, but we'll see if Derek's on tomorrow and see if he can figure out a base map for me, because literally have to start a map from scratch, which is a lot of work. So it's definitely exciting. I'm really happy. It sucks that I spent like 2 hours finding that relay, but Nissan saves the day once again, and it actually looks way better, and it ends up working out way better too. So I don't know, I'm pretty excited. This ended up being a lot crazier than I thought it would ever be. So right now we have all the pins exposed on the ECU plug, and I'm actually gonna take the old guard, or old box, whatever you want to call it, cut it up and make it work for this, so it's all contained and not fully exposed to the elements. All right, let's see how let's just see how this thing fits. So hopefully this thing fits. Comes to find out, I actually ran everything pretty good besides the transistors. I put them in probably the worst location I possibly could. I mean, they're literally at the center of the outer shell. That kind of sucks. Oh well. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. I think it actually looks pretty damn cool. Once this is loomed up, this thing's gonna look so official, but for now, I'll leave that issue for tomorrow. Setting up the full base map is going to be a whole different thing in itself. I'm really excited to see how that all comes together, but get it in tomorrow, and hopefully we can hear this thing run for the first time, and I'm really excited, but I need to go home. I am exhausted. I got enough done today to make myself feel accomplished. Hope you guys liked today's video, even though it was a little dry, and I can't do anything right today. The amount of retakes I had to do today, saying the simplest stuff, is unbearable. Get some good sleep tonight. Hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow. So you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content, and have a good night.